MyBookie.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. The peach, the lemon lime, the strawberry shortcake, and the blue raspberry. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten if you give a shit about that. We are live in over 100 stores in Tennessee. More just opened up. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros. Kids picking some NFL wildcard weekend with Brian Urlacher today. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Get off the couch and get into the action today with MyBookie.com. Bry Guy, did you bet on last night's national champion, Snitz? I did, and I got destroyed.
That was the best bet I've ever made. I love it when the game is not close. There's no chance. Like the cover was early and they never got behind. I was on the right side, obviously, of that one. I figured Georgia would give them hell because they're good, man. They got a good football team. They got good athletes everywhere.
They're okay. Ohio State should have won that fucking game last week.
And Michigan should have lost. Michigan should have won too, but they didn't.
You know what's weird about the Michigan game? And I wanted to ask you about that actually today because of the Chicago connection and everything else. It felt like, because I went back and rewatched both of those games, right? With the Michigan game, it almost felt like he was auditioning for an NFL team because there was a lot of calls that were uncharacteristic for Harbaugh in that game. Like with the Philly special. Did you watch the Philly special to start off the game?
Yeah, I was like on fourth and 2 or 3. I was shocked that they didn't kick the field goal, first of all, because with their defense, prior to that game, I thought their defense was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then they run that stupid ass play.
Yeah. It made no sense.
It made no sense. Kick the field goal or hand it off to, they run the ball as good as anybody in the nation. But yeah, that play really shocked me. And then they had to throw the ball out because they were behind. But yeah, just the whole. I had Michigan in that game, and I had Georgia in the other game that weekend. So it was not a good weekend for me. 10 days ago, whenever it was.
I got caught up in the magic of it all yesterday. I want to apologize to my friends, family, wife, girlfriend, kids, all the things in this life because it was bad last night. It was. I believed in it. I teased it up, Bry Guy. I teased
21.
it up. Yes, I got 21, and the over. Here's the crazy thing: the over I teased up to 70. Georgia almost hits the over on their own last night. It was 65-7. They could have easily scored 70. They pulled Stetson Bennett and those guys with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. When you see a game like that, do you think to yourself, all right, how many years is this going to set back TCU in the Big 12 conference as a whole?
No, they're in the national championship game. You can look at it from both sides. So I look at it as they had a great season. They got to a national championship, and they played a team that got hot at the right time. I just don't see how you can say it's a setback for you. You got your ass kicked. I guess that happens sometimes. But, man, you got to the national championship from the Big 12. No one gave them – they were 5-7 last year. They had no chance of even, according to all the experts, making it to the Big 12 championship or get to the playoffs. So to get as far as they got is pretty damn awesome. I think you have to be able to build off of that. Duggan's a stud. I don't care how he played yesterday. Kid's a badass. He's got one of the biggest set of balls in college football. There's nothing you can say bad about the guy. He plays hard as hell, but they just got their ass kicked. That's the way it goes sometimes.
I mean, their line was bad.
It was overpowered.
Yes. Yeah.
It was overpowered.
There were maybe I watched the entire game, and kudos to him for staying in the whole goddamn time. But he maybe 6 dropbacks, full 7-step dropbacks. He actually wasn't getting fucking mauled by somebody. Right. Like 6 or 7 of them total in the whole game.
Yeah.
It was wild.
There was a rape kit on the sidelines, and I wasn't sure what it was for.
Results were inconclusive.
They were. Okay. So there was no rape on the field?
Well, inconclusive.
Okay.
So we don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Still out there.
We'll find out. But the interesting thing to me was I always watch the pressers afterwards because I like to see what they actually thought of the game. Because when you catch somebody, especially on a beating that bad, it's interesting to see it just wasn't our day. We didn't have the right game plan or whatever it was. There was a couple guys on TCU that were just like, we're not on that tier. And it was that specific word of tier that I was like, oh, shit. You definitely shouldn't say that to the press.
What they meant to say was we're not in the SEC. Because
I guess
it's the SEC and then occasionally some other team and then Michigan and Ohio State. Not even always Michigan, but Ohio State.
Ohio State,
common.
Yeah.
Ohio State competed the weekend before. They showed up. They played. I mean, Georgia's defense kind of fell off there at the end of the season until last night. They'd fallen off a little bit against LSU to give up some yards and against Ohio State obviously to give up some yards. But they were vulnerable, but they showed up, like you said, up front last night on both sides of the football. They showed up.
Yeah, and I thought in the Ohio State game that Marvin Harrison Jr., that when he got knocked out, that was game over. They could have gone up by 3 touchdowns right going into the fourth quarter. And did you think that was targeting when you watched that?
I don't think anything's targeting, so you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah,
100% bullshit calls. I'm so tired of the reviews. Oh, we didn't throw a flag, but there's a possible targeting 37 yards away from the play. So we're going to review this and see if we should kick this kid out for the rest of this game and probably the first half of next game. Let's just make sure we can ruin his season real quick. Such bullshit.
Yeah, it's like dating a woman, right? It's like she brings up old shit all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, that plays over, honey.
Right.
We're done with that.
Right. I'm not a big fan of targeting either, but when a kid gets knocked out of the game like that, I was just like, all right, what the fuck? At least a defenseless receiver in that, because it just changed the game.
Yeah, that rule, they don't have that rule in college, I don't think. But, they
do, yeah.
I wonder
that was a clean hit.
I thought it was a clean hit, too.
Good hit. I mean, if it wasn't, the guy would have been ejected.
Yeah.
So it was obviously a good hit.
Sure,
They can't wait to eject you. They can't wait to throw a penalty and eject these kids. They can't wait to do it.
Let me ask you, since we're talking about Ohio State receivers, let me ask you a question. You went through the draft process and all this stuff, and you played in the NFL for a long time. Jackson Smith and Jigma deciding not to play in the CFP games. Seemed like, I mean, it turned out to only be one game. But if you're Kevin Costner on draft day, right?
Yeah.
And that's the worst. Yep. That is the worst sports movie of all time, by the way. I think it's close.
It's a pretty good movie.
Boy,
it's unrealistic, but it's entertaining.
That's true. I'll give you. That's fine. Yeah. It's
unrealistic.
It's like
that's what took me out of it.
Uncut Gems. Yes. Anyways, yeah. So you're a guy. You're a DC. And you're looking at, an OC, and you're looking at this guy maybe coming onto your team, that doesn't speak very highly of his character, I think.
Well, so he was, I could be wrong. Was he hurt during the season as well? Would he be coming off an injury to play in that game? Am I correct in saying that?
Well, but it was a hamstring injury. So, and it happened, and I'm an Ohio State fan, so I know the dates for this.
Yeah.
Because I thought if he played, Ohio State wins by fucking 30 in that game, because he was my first wide receiver off the board for this upcoming draft. And then once he didn't play all year, Quentin Johnston kind of took over after that, and it was Quentin Johnson the whole time.
What about now?
Now, so here's the wild thing.
Well, he can't throw the ball to himself. You know what I mean?
I'm taking Laddie. I love Laddie.
Really?
84. I'm just kidding. The kid for
the white kid. The white
Georgia.
kid. Yeah.
I love his name. Ladd. That's awesome.
Ladd McConkey. Is there a whiter name in the history of white men than
Irish.
that?
Sounds pretty Irish to me.
Yeah, but anyway, with Jackson Smith and Jigma, it was a simple hamstring, and then he was off since October 20th. I'm sure you've dealt with hamstrings and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
and then you have essentially 9 weeks. Don't you give it a go? I mean, a guy like you who played.
I'm playing. Yeah.
Yes.
Most guys who are in that situation play. That maybe you can't just blame the kid. You don't know who's giving him advice. You don't know who he's listening to. Obviously wasn't to his coaches or his teammates, because he would have played if he cared about that. And in the end, he makes a decision. But yeah, I would have on draft day. You got to take that into consideration when if that say he hurts his shoulder or something, and he can't make it any worse. But he's like, I can't play because my shoulder hurts. Well, bullshit. If you can't make it worse, you play. That was my take on when I had injuries. If the trainer says I can't make it worse, guess what? I'm playing.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is doing that right now. He's probably got bone spurs or something in his arm. If it's hurting like that to throw, it's probably bone spurs or something like that. It's not going to cause any more damage, but you're going to have to get it fixed at some point. But he's playing what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and it was a game that his team needed, and he came out and played. And that's what I think you should do. Regardless of what happens in the playoffs, they still needed the first round bye, even if he's going to give himself time to heal. And he went in there and did it. Now, I don't know if you're bringing this up because of the presser for the Bears today, but Poles said, hey, Fields is our guy. He's our quarterback, which, look, if you're able to survive with one of the worst teams ever put together there. I think you should get another year to start. Now, him saying Fields is the guy and they got the number 1 pick, do you trade that pick? What do you think the Bears are going to do?
I have no idea. They fired their coach. Was it Nagy? They fired last year, correct?
Yep.
And then the first year after he's gone, you get the number 1 pick because you're 3-14. You're the worst team in the NFL. What does that say? I mean, shit. It must not have been the coaches. I just have a hard time thinking that it was all Nagy's fault when you look at the situation. I guess Fields is his guy. It's his decision and his alone, so he's going to stick with him. There's so many good players that you could take with that draft. The kid from the defensive end from Alabama,
Will Anderson, Georgia,
the quarterback from Alabama, the quarterback from Ohio State. There's just so many good players you could take with that top pick. But you could trade it. Obviously, I think that's what they should do, unless they want to take a quarterback or Anderson from Alabama. You trade it. But they need so much help, so why not get more draft picks? But having said that, they don't do good on their draft picks.
Yeah.
And when they do hit on a draft pick, they trade his ass like they did Roquan. It just doesn't make any sense to me, the things they do. If you're going to get more draft picks, that's great, but get good players and keep those players. Actually pay them for playing well, not trade their asses because you don't want to pay them.
Yeah, it seems like the smart move would be, look, everybody wants Bryce Young at 1, right? Houston, for some reason,
he's good.
Lovie Smith intentionally fucked Houston over on his way out the door. It's
great. It's a great move.
Fucking hilarious. I don't like that organization anyway, so I'm fine with it. But they had the number 1 pick locked up, and they had their eyes set on Bryce Young, and now they're probably not going to get him. Because if you're Chicago, you trade that pick, you trade down to like somewhere between 5 and 8, and you take maybe your receiver, maybe you take your offensive lineman, then you take your receiver and tight end in the second round, whatever, with the extra pick you picked up. And whomever goes into that 1 pick is going to get Bryce Young, right?
Yes, I think so.
Like, what the fuck, man?
I know. Here's my prediction on the Bears. I think they trade down. I think Fields wants Jackson Smith and Jigma. After Quentin Johnson had 1 catch for 3 yards last night, he'll probably fall down the boards a little bit. That's what'll happen. And I'm only saying this not because of the Ohio State thing, but I think that connection worked with Tua and Waddle in Miami, and seeing the two of them go off together, because I was not a Tua believer at all, and I wasn't necessarily a Justin Fields believer until this year, just because he didn't really play that much in college. He only played 1 year in college. People forget that with Justin Fields.
What sold you on this year?
This year, I thought... Besides the running,
he runs the ball great, obviously.
Right.
What sold him as a quarterback, what sold you on?
Yeah, and Dan and I were watching a couple games together. When he did have time, which wasn't much, I mean, their line was about... The Bears' offensive line reminded me of TCU's last night, where I think the only reason Fields was going for that record... the NFL rushing record is he didn't have a choice, but that's the only way he could stay alive.
Yeah.
And he barely did that because there were some injuries toward the end, and they ended up sitting him out the last game. When he does have a few seconds there of time, he was pretty goddamn good, and his passes were pretty accurate. There was a play, you and I watching the Denver game where he dropped the touchdown. It was 4th and 8, and he threw a perfect touchdown pass to Mooney. And Mooney just dropped it.
Yeah, he just concrete hands that way. And for me, it was he didn't even need that much help. When he got just a little bit of help and he was able to take a 7-step drop and got 2 seconds or so of legit protection, when the pocket started to collapse from the outside, every single time he saw it coming and stepped up instead of panicking. He didn't take off running like a lot of guys do, especially with his capability. He didn't fucking throw a stupid pass. He didn't just brace for the impact. He just stepped up 2 feet, right? He just stepped up 2 feet and let the pocket do what it's supposed to do for him and threw the ball. All he needs is a little bit of help to be good, it looks like.
Just a little bit. And I look at the wide receivers that came out this year. It looks like onesie-twosie as far as receivers go. Offensive Rookie of the Year will be Olave or Garrett Wilson. Both of them had 1,000.
You don't think Purdy has a chance?
No, because he didn't play enough games.
If he had played more games, man.
If he had started the season, who knows?
Kid's good, man.
Delco loves him, and it's going to be his downfall, too, because they're going to take out the Eagles in the playoffs this year. and I'm going to remind you of Brock Purdy. But with that, you saw 2 good receivers who were great in college with shitty quarterbacks all year long. I mean, Jesus, one was with the Jets. Garrett Wilson was with the Jets. Nobody throwing to him all year. Olave was down with the Saints.
Andy's okay.
Oh,
Andy Dalton's okay.
Come on.
You don't like Andy Dalton?
No. I liked him maybe 5 years ago, but what is he, 38? 39?
Yeah, he's 39. Yeah.
I don't think it matters how old he is. But Tom Brady's 81. He's still doing it too.
Yeah, but I mean, are we really putting Brady and Dalton in the same class?
Age-wise is all I'm going off. I'm not going off of ability. I'm going off of age-wise, which you brought up. But I think Andy was very adequate this year. And what he had around him, because you guys want to talk about offensive lines and all that. So
no shit.
Offensive line-wise, he didn't have shit either.
Yeah.
So you look at what he did with that offensive line, he had pretty good numbers, and they won some games with him at quarterback.
So you think Andy Dalton should start next year for the Saints?
No, I don't. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you're paying
Michael Thomas not to play.
The gadget guy, and the gadget guy.
Oh, the tight end,
Taysom Hill,
$82 million.
So start his ass, because he obviously when he's in there, he gets it done. So start his ass and save some money at quarterback.
It seems like they have just a very low tolerance for him as a starting quarterback for some reason.
He throws 2 incomplete passes, and all of a sudden he can't throw.
It's like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, I mean, maybe not worse than the other guys, so who cares? I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe they make their offense like Philly does and just revolve it around his running ability and throw. He gets a lot of man coverage, and
the Saints as an organization, though, they're completely ate up ever since Peyton left. They're fucked.
It's a weird. They have talent on the team, though. It's what I can't figure out.
They can't get think about. Well, Michael Thomas is probably their best player, right?
Well, he restructured, and so he
has now, yeah. So maybe they've mended fences with him because he didn't. My understanding from like Benny and some people we know that with the team and shit, it's like wasn't really thrilled about being there.
Well, would you want to play with those quarterbacks? I wouldn't.
It is. I mean, with Jameis Winston as a receiver, yeah, because he's going to throw 30 picks, but he's going to throw 35 touchdowns. That's fine for me. My numbers still look good.
They tried with Crab Legs, and Crab Legs didn't have a great year, so he was kind of out of there.
He needs a second eye surgery.
You think he's gone?
He's gone. I think they wipe out everyone. I think they keep Taysom Hill just because for a tight end, flex, backup, quarterback, if you his salary is huge, but if you combine the 9 positions he plays,
solid.
If they used him, if they used him like fucking Shanahan uses Deebo Samuel, they could probably still win games even with the quarterback they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't Speaking of,
I think Stroud would be a great candidate to go down there at least because they have all the pieces, and he played with Olave. That was his receiver last year.
They have a good offensive line.
No, but you can pick that up in the draft, and they have money. And so, by the way, so do the Bears. The Bears have the most this offseason, $118 million.
Yeah.
They have money to spend on an offensive line as well, and those are guys you can pick up.
And receivers, and running backs, and defensive linemen. They need everything.
Yes.
They've traded away all their great players on defense.
But they have the money for it. They have the money for it this offseason.
I'll take the players over the money. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a guy that's proven to make plays over spending the money on somebody who could be good. I mean, I understand you get a guy in free agency, he should be pretty damn good, but you're probably going to overpay for him.
You can't really buy a roster. Just ask the Eagles and their dream team back in the day.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, even with you, like shit, God damn, dude. Do you ever look back at it and you're like, how many Super Bowls should we have won?
Oh, man, our defense was so damn good.
Yeah, so good.
Having said that, we shit the bed on defense in a couple of big games. We shit the bed on defense. Our offense played well enough for us to win, but we didn't win the game because we didn't play good enough on defense. So you can say that all you want to, but you got to play good at the right time, man. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Last question here before we get to the playoffs coming up. What was it like playing with Stetson Bennett in high school? I know you guys played together, and
he was a senior. You were a freshman. I
think so. Yeah, you were behind him.
Can I even call him a kid? Was he only 25?
No,
he's a fucking.
He can rent a car. He's the only guy in fucking college football that can rent a goddamn car.
I couldn't rent a car my first 4 years in the league. I was so frustrated. I'd go on vacation. I could never rent a car. It was so frustrating. Got
to be 25.
25. That kid is a freaking stud. Do you guys think he'll get drafted or have a chance?
No.
He's too accurate. He runs around too good. He makes good decisions with the football. So they don't want guys like that in the NFL, right? He's not tall enough. That's what it is.
Well,
he's very Ken Dorsey-like, isn't he?
It's all bullshit. He can't make plays.
Like Ken Dorsey had the same kind of, I guess, other than the final loss to Ohio State, but I think he finished his college career 39-1 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and he got drafted
190.
Yeah,
so arm.
He was terrible.
Yeah. He had a jelly arm though. Stetson Bennett actually has a pretty decent hose.
A cannon.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to have the top Chevy dealership in Athens, Georgia for the next 20 years. And that's a great thing, too. One might say he might even make it even more money. But at 25, clocking in at 5'10", which is probably 5'9", 190-something pounds, I don't think it's
Slinging it. Making good decisions.
Look, there's a lot of people who are slinging it out there who aren't getting work these days. So,
Yeah, but as long as he can afford to pay for all the bastard children, I assume he will sire. If he stays in Athens, he's a hero
at Mexicali.
He's given Georgia two fucking titles in a row.
Yeah,
you kidding me?
Look, they're
and even after all
after
all the abuse that he took from not from us, from Georgia,
from
fans,
his own fan base.
You know what I mean? And he gave them 2 fucking rings.
I know.
He's the only guy other than Herschel Walker to be able to do that, and they wouldn't even elect Herschel.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Fuck Georgia, man.
I know. Herschel didn't win, dude, down there in Georgia.
I know. Oh, I know. Believe me, I watched all the bullshit transpire in November or whatever frick it was.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rough year
in December.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a good year.
I hope so.
Only two to go, man. Then things are gonna turn around.
That's it. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll read a couple sponsors real quick, and then we'll hop into this week's picks. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. I lost $1,000 on last night's game. Again, I apologize, kids.
Oh, we got some breaking news.
I don't know what I was thinking about.
Breed White in the chat says Georgia just scored again. So,
did they?
Yeah.
Another touchdown for Georgia.
Fuck.
Yeah.
72
points for Georgia. How's Herschel doing, Bob? So down in Georgia. With that, you can bet on all the games. Don't forget, we got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday this year for the first time in ever, I think. Urlacher, you never played in a Monday night playoff game. That's wild, isn't it?
I don't understand it. Why?
Well, the ratings. So the ratings are so high that, yes, they wanted to eat up another night of primetime. And it's smart by the NFL, and it's smart by who owns that Monday night game this week. It's ESPN.
ESPN. It's Disney.
Oh, dude.
Your favorite.
So they're going to put it on ESPN. I'm reading it now. ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus. If they could put it on Disney and the back of your 8-year-old skull, they would do that as well. That's how much money they're making off of it. But I'm going to have to re-up here and put some more money back in the bank after last night's bloodbath. And if you want to go to any of these games, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. Let's get to the playoff picks, shall we?
Wait, before we do that, I just saw a really interesting article. This is new information for me. I did not realize this.
Okay.
So in the Packers game against the Lions where they collapsed, right? Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 picks all to Kirby Joseph.
Same guy?
Yeah. He's the only
one. Only one counted.
Only one.
3 on the season.
Three on the season. Yeah, that was the 3rd pick he had from Aaron Rodgers because he had 2 in the first game where they lost 29.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
To 16 or some shit.
Yeah, they swept him this year.
Yeah, but there's only one other player in NFL history that has intercepted Aaron Rodgers 3 times. Do you want to guess who it is?
Is it Brian Urlacher?
Yes.
No.
It's fucking Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher.
Wow. First ballot, unanimous. Was it unanimous?
I wouldn't say unanimous. You talking about me or Aaron?
You.
Well, I don't think I was unanimous. I heard a lot of people that didn't like me, but I got in on the first try. That's all I care about.
That's all you care about. I care about unanimous, but whatever. I like.
Who's been unanimous for the NFL? Do you know any?
Yeah, O.J. Simpson. I think
I know one that should be. Tom Brady should be, but
there's
always that one asshole who's like, he didn't give me an interview.
The fact that a bunch of fucking nerds who have never fucking played, it's embarrassing.
It is.
Major League Baseball is actually way worse.
There has never been a unanimous NFL Hall of Famer.
You're fucking kidding.
And I believe the MLB just recently broke that because there wasn't one
Cheater,
for the MLB.
Right? Or was Mariano Rivera?
I think it was Mariano Rivera.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. In the NFL, no one?
No one.
Well,
I don't know what the story is in the NFL, but in the MLB, the first class wasn't unanimous somehow. I think there was a reason for that, like a weird voting system reason.
Race?
Yes. And So from then on, all the boner writers were like, well, if Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb weren't unanimous, then no one should ever be unanimous.
No, there were like 60 people or something inducted in the first class, and you can only vote for 20, I think, or something like that. So the writers got together and decided who to vote for to make sure everybody got in or something. It was
collusion. That's collusion.
Well, it is. Luckily, nobody was able to collude against you, Brian. Do you want to?
Yes, they tried.
I kind of remember Aaron Rodgers saying he owns the Bears.
He did, yeah. He just didn't own Brian.
Just not you, though.
Just not you.
Well, he may have had a pretty good record against us. Even since I've left, he's really fucking owned them. It's been ugly, but we did okay against. Well, I played against Brett my first, I think 7 or 8 years, and then Aaron the last like 5 or 6. But yeah, dude's good, man. Fucking guy is good. He can throw the football to the right team.
He's so good. He's like it's frustrating how it seems like there's lapses in focus and leadership from that guy because of how goddamn talented he is. You know what I mean?
He's really good.
That's irritating to me.
Also,
but isn't that his offensive? But Ross, isn't that his offensive line's fault? He doesn't have any receivers, and like it's everyone else's fault, right?
Yeah. So it's a great question. So we had chatted about this as the season went on because we love betting on the Packers actually,
and especially when they're getting points.
So everybody said, look, the Packers had no receivers for whatever reason. They won't draft any in the first round. That has never fucking made sense to us here on this show. It seemed like Rodgers was frustrated with their lack of experience. And I guess that's the right word for it. He asked for Randall Cobb back, which they gave him.
It's a security blanket.
Yeah, but he's on the older side there.
Yeah. But if you look at like but before this Detroit game, the previous 5 games before that, Aaron Rodgers had those receivers going the way he wanted them.
Christian Watson.
Yeah. Yes. But those guys didn't come on until later because they were dog shit. And so we kind of said a very similar thing with Rodgers where here's what we were asking. Was it Rodgers just being checked out of life early on in the season or him not showing up? Because he was doing podcasts up until about an hour before the first game. It seemed like he didn't even take the time to gel with his receivers. And then somebody else brought up the ayahuasca thing where you're on this honeymoon phase for 3 to 4 months and you're kind of checked out and then he was dialed in after that. What's the answer there? Because we asked the same thing.
I think it's all bullshit. I mean, he cares about winning. He cares about gelling with his teammates and receivers. There's only so much you can do. I think at some point he's like, you know what, these guys got to step up. So I'm putting the ball on the money every fucking time, and they're dropping it. They're not running the right routes. There's no chemistry there. That takes time. But at some point, like you said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. I think it just happened. It wasn't because he didn't put the work in or anything like that, but they just started gelling. I think the running the ball helped because then they got more favorable coverages for throwing the football. So they're putting guys in the box to get one-on-one coverage.
Yep.
But I just think that it started working at that point in the season. I don't think it had anything to do with him not checking in or that bullshit. Just start playing better as a team.
Do you think he comes back? Because we also chatted about that last week. Do you think he comes back to the Packers, or does he potentially get traded somewhere else?
I think he goes back to the Packers just because I don't think he wants to end his career the way he did this year. There, especially, I can't see him being a guy that wants to go out like that. His last game in Green Bay.
Because he took a monster contract. I don't know if you want to give up 200, 190. That's probably left on that. And then obviously, Brett Favre, who played with him forever, still needs money for that volleyball court. Too soon.
Whatever happened with that, by the way?
Too soon.
It's in federal court right now.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
You'll hear about it again. 3 to 6
months. They're reporting on it
yeah.
every single day for like 2 weeks, and then it just disappeared.
It's because Brett Favre's a Republican, and they don't like that. So
you're right. I'm on Brett's side, by the way.
I was on his side until I saw his dick pic, and I was like, Brett, take more time, dude. Take your time with that.
Yeah, we need to
alleged dick pic. Is his face in it?
It was definitely his penis. I've seen his penis before. So.
Was it his face in the picture?
He's been on the show. No, it was not.
Something almost as personal. His Crocs were in the picture.
Yes.
So.
Someone could have been wearing his Crocs, bro. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
The grass had just been mowed. Like he loves to mow that grass. It was on the white Crocs.
You can see the Wranglers.
Yeah, it was a loose dick pic where it was wet, kind of still, because that humidity down there. But
it's a little musty. Yeah, I get it.
Stinks down there.
The Packers are going to take an offensive tackle in the first round this year. I'm not kidding. As they should because with Bakhtiari on the left and a good right tackle, now Aaron Rodgers has at least some time to throw the ball into the back of his receiver who ran the wrong route.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is, how many times did we see him, especially Watson, get hit in the back of his legs with fucking throwing balls from Aaron Rodgers? Now, you could say it takes two to tango. Fair enough. We've been watching Aaron Rodgers throw passes to receivers for 30 goddamn years now, and that's never happened until this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate to defend the guy, but goddamn, man.
If I'm San Francisco, though, do you pick up the phone in the offseason and be like, hey, do you want to make a trade?
Not if they win the bowl.
Well, what is San Fran going to do? They got Jimmy G, the guy they drafted number 2 overall, who they thought was going to be the guy this year, and now you got Brock Purdy.
I think.
What do you do?
Jimmy G's out, so his contract is over this year. He's gone.
He's going back.
Trey Lance was a rookie contract, and I think he's in year 3 of it.
Belichick just resigned for next year. Jimmy G's going back to fucking New England. And he's going to be the starter there next year. If I had to guess, that's what I think is going to happen.
What about Lance though? Is he
done? I mean, let's move on. Brock Purdy has looked.
I agree.
Pretty fucking good.
Lance only played 12 college games.
Oh yeah.
Like when you have no offense to the guy, there's a decent
at
chance
North Dakota State.
Yeah, there's a decent chance that he's going to become a functional NFL quarterback at some point. But the 49ers are built to win right now. Mm-hmm. They've got like, how much longer is Deebo Samuel and C-Mac going to last? How much longer is that defense going to stay intact and healthy and shit? Like, you got to win now.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
Brock Purdy is the man. He's going to win this week too.
Good.
You got Joey Bosa's defensive player of the year this year.
Yeah, he beat out Micah after Micah made the remarks about Biden. No one's going to vote for him anyway, so it doesn't matter. None of the writers are going to vote for him, so it's going to be Bosa.
Yeah, I think it'll be Bosa too. Yeah. We'll start off with that game. Seahawks at 49ers. This is the first game up on Saturday.
Geno Smith, the best quarterback in Seahawks history.
He just broke the record.
Yes, the greatest. Love him. The greatest.
I mean, seriously.
What a great trade for Seattle.
Oh,
they got away from that. So
and then
what a dream.
Then we keep hearing these rumors that fucking Denver's talking to Sean Payton. He would be out of his goddamn mind to take that job.
Can't go there. I think
like nobody wants that job. Nobody wants the Rams job because McVay's probably going to leave, and the Rams they still have a pretty decent team, but they have no draft picks for the next 10 years. Yeah, they're fucked.
And Stafford's old. Yeah.
No, I got Baker though. Baker steps in there.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I like Baker Mayfield.
You do not. If you love Stetson Bennett, you love Baker Mayfield. Then
Baker's just a fucking gritty guy, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a piss what you think, what I think. He's gonna go out there and do what Baker wants to do.
He's got heart.
He plays hard. I appreciate guys who don't give a fuck and go out there and play hard.
This Seahawks 49ers matchup, 9.5 points is a lot for an NFL playoff.
Well, here's the thing. That's how good Geno Smith is, that the spread is 9.5 for the 49ers here. They've got no respect on Geno there. Look, 49ers are my pick out of the NFC to go to the Super Bowl this year. So I obviously have them in this game. I'm going to tease this down, though, just in case. Although I don't know that you necessarily need it. 49ers have been on fucking fire, dude. 10 in a row. Who you got in this one? This is San Fran minus 9.5. Over-unders very low at 43.
I'm laying the points. I take the Niners. I think they're going to smack them around pretty good. Playoff time. Seattle backed in there with whatever happened to them. I don't know. Someone lost. They got in. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Anyway,
they beat Baker Mayfield, your boy.
Yeah, and the Packers lost.
Yep.
And the Packers lost, so they shouldn't have got in because the Packers. Well, Detroit. Anyway, I take the points. I'll take the Niners minus the 9.5. Yep.
What do you got, D'Anthony?
I don't know, man. I mean, you're probably right about the NFC with the 49ers because the margin, their path to victory is so broad because they don't have to score more than 20 points probably to win any game they're going to be in. You know what I mean? Like when you have a team like that, and then you look at Brock Purdy's Brock Purdy. We don't know necessarily. He could be another Matt Flynn, flash in the pan kind of situation. Mm-hmm. Who knows? We'll see, right? But you've got a lot of talent on that offense. I don't see. Pete Carroll's a smart guy.
Yeah,
he's one of the better coaches I think in the NFL.
And he fucks hard.
Yeah, he fucks tough actually.
Breathes hard and he fucks tough.
Yeah, he does. But I'm afraid this one's not going to work out for him. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
But 9.5 is a lot of points. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with that.
I'm going to tease this down. So this will be 2.5 for me, and then I'm going to tease this over down to 36. Take the over, and I'm going to take San Fran minus 2.5. I think it's a relatively high-scoring game. Surprisingly, Brock Purdy's been able to put points on the board, whereas Jimmy G didn't. Yep. Trey Lance didn't. So I'm going to take that over as well, and I'm going to enjoy my Saturday afternoon and watch that.
Yeah, I'm with those picks.
And again, I think the 49. I've got the 49ers going to the Super Bowl from the NFC anyway, so that's not a mystery for the audience this year. Who do you got coming out of the NFC? Just because
Niners. I'm with you. I like the Niners. They're hot. Their defense is good as shit, except against who put up the Raiders put up all those damn points. Of course, I teased them to 3.5 that game, and they won by 3. It's awesome.
It was. The other thing about that Raiders game in particular for Brock Purdy, I think he needed a challenge where a team was just gassing the ball down the field like that. Because Stidham had 3 or 4 touchdowns in that game, and then he came back and won it in overtime, and I think they needed a game like that because Philly might play them like that, where they're able to put points on the board. I don't see anybody else in the NFC besides Philly and 49ers that are able to compete.
Unless we'll get to Brady later. Anytime Tom Brady's involved in something, I at least pay attention, right?
Oh, yeah. What's the Monday night game? Everybody else is paying attention.
I think the Eagles aren't playing this week. I think this first round bye kind of fucks. I know that they get a chance to get a little healthier because
it's good for Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson are out, but I think maybe I don't really like having a week off like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It seems weird. I don't know. I've been too many baseball series have gotten fucked up because of that shit. Long layoffs, then you come back in, everybody's rusty and shit.
Well, the good thing for the Eagles is their first game will be against somebody shitty, probably the Giants or somebody like that. So I think they're fine
against Tampa Bay.
Well, Tampa Bay, you got some problems just because it's Tom Brady and who knows, right?
Yeah,
the guy was dipped in fucking magic.
Now this next game, Chargers at Jaguars. This is my favorite game of this weekend.
Same. This is a pick'em game, which is super rare in the playoffs.
This is the reason I like it so much is because the rumors are swirling right now that if the rumors are swirling that Peyton might be taking over the Chargers head coaching job.
He should. That coach sucks.
Yeah. And if the Jaguars win this game, which would be good for the city. I don't care about that city, but if the Jaguars win this game, it would be good for the progression of Lawrence's career and all that stuff.
Yep.
And I would love to see Sean Payton on a team like the Chargers with that young core that already had he's
Herbert is a great quarterback. Jesus Christ!
I mean, look at
4,700 yards this year.
That would be great.
And he didn't have any receivers. They were hurt all year.
Yeah, and I think the only way it happens is if the Chargers lose this game and maybe lose it embarrassingly, right? Otherwise, how do you fucking fire a coach for a first round loss with the Chargers? It's not like it's
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. So I'm taking the Jaguars in this.
You're taking the Jaguars?
Just a heart bet.
Bry Guy, who do you got?
I like the Jaguars as well. I think they're on a roll. They won a big game last week. That was actually the first time I saw Trevor Lawrence play live. All I ever see is highlights. The kick and throw the football. Yeah. ETN's fast. I like their defense. I think they're going to win this game.
So I watched that game, and I thought he looked a little nervous, actually. He was pretty goddamn good throughout the year, but he looked a little nervous in that game. I mean, you got the scoop and score late that ended up getting it. Now, I had money on that, a lot of money on that fucking game. And so I needed that to come through. And I don't know how that would have gone because Trevor Lawrence didn't look great in that game. But I think Herbert is good for one win. And at a pick'em game, I'm going to take the Chargers in this one on the road. And is Bosa playing? The other Bosa, is he out or is he? This was one of those games. Did you watch that game last week of the Chargers? They didn't have to play any starters, and they played all of them. Bosa got hurt. Mike Williams got hurt in that game.
They're not on the
Bosa just got back.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And why was he out there? It was a meaningless game. It didn't do anything for the seeding. Nothing.
You got to get him in shape. Got to give him some kind of shape,
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
I have no idea. No, it makes no sense to play in that game. I don't think anyone – I hate saying it's good to rest guys. I mean, if you have a bye week the next week, I think you play everybody. Because I hate having – it's like having a back-to-back bye. Really, we did that one year in Chicago, and we lost next – we had a – Lovey took us out after the first quarter. Then we had a bye week the next week, and we went back in and we lost to who beat us that year? I don't know. Carolina beat us the next week. So if you have a bye week, you play everybody, I feel like. But if you don't have a bye week, I have no problem pulling guys. But I don't think they should have been anyone in that game. Unless you're going for a record or incentives and shit like that, you shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah. I don't see Bosa on the injury report, but they got big problems.
Thank God, because he limped off to the sidelines, and I was like, Chargers fans were so pissed off. They were like, "Why are you?"
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, he got hurt in college too. So did his brother.
Yep.
Right. But Mike,
brother's good.
Yeah, they're both so good. Mike Williams is questionable. Rashawn Slater, who is their best offensive tackle, is out. He's on the IR now with a torn bicep. So
when did he tear that?
I don't know. Sometimes they just put him on the IR like 45 minutes ago. I just got the notification. But yeah, he's that's a big problem for them. Okay. With the think about the last couple of weeks, the pressure the Jaguars fucking edge rushers have been putting on people, and now your number one receiver's out as well. Maybe we'll see. He's at least banged up.
You got Herbert, you got Eckler, and you got maybe
Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan's gonna play, and then you got the defense. I just think, I think it's great the progression that Trevor Lawrence has made. He just looked a little nervous last week, and I'm gonna take Herbert in the boys this week.
You think their defense is good, Ross? San Diego?
Yes. And they've gone through a lot of injuries, like we said. So we're big fantasy football guys on the show. Mm-hmm. So the Chargers were actually my first pick on defense throughout the league this year. And same thing, man. Bosa was out.
So you had a shitty year then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you had a shitty year then, obviously.
Shitty year. But it didn't. So on that team that I drafted, that was super shitty, and that was like our best league over here because we do about 13 leagues. I had the Chargers on defense, and I had Brady as my quarterback, and he didn't really throw any touchdowns all year and didn't look great for most of the year. So I got boned in that league. And then as far as the Chargers is concerned, with Derwin James and Bosa, and then they added a bunch of people over the offseason.
J.C. Jackson came over from New England. Yeah.
On paper, it looked like the best defense there was, and it didn't work out that way.
Well, you got to be on the fucking field, ultimately. Yeah. But I mean, all those guys are still signed for next year, so
they are. And if Sean Payton came there with this team already in place, and they're able to stay healthy, this is a very, very good Chargers team that could really do some damage. I just think their coach is a fucking idiot. And win or lose, fire the guy.
Do you guys remember the Cleveland game this year? When they went for it on fourth down, when they were up by 2.
Yeah.
If they punted, Cleveland's got 0. They got lucky because I think they got a pick, but I had San Diego in the game, so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I had money on that same game.
And they ended up covering, but because Cleveland missed a long field goal, but it was a bad decision by him.
It was, and that guy can't get out of town fast enough. Not that anybody in LA will care because they're not fans of this team. They're not fans of this team or franchise. Next up on the Sunday games, we got the Dolphins playing the Bills. Another one coming in at 9.5 here. Another 2 seed coming in at 9.5 in this game.
I don't think I'm even going to tease this one.
Tua's out.
I think the Bills win this game by like 20 fucking points.
And Mostert is got a broken thumb. Whether or not he plays or not, it's another story.
And the Bills are all fucking. The Bills are tuned up.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, it's like you can't manufacture energy like that. Like it's a shitty situation with that kid, but is it? You know what I mean? He's okay now, and they're fucking all tuned up. So I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat these guys right now.
Let's go.
When I was watching, because that game was televised everywhere, obviously with the injury to Hamlin. When Hines took that kickoff back all the way, I mean, boner came through the skin. I had to go through my own medical situation, and I was my wife had taken me out off the field for a little bit, aka the couch. And it was amazing, and I think the energy and all that stuff going into this game is even better. I'm good with 9.5 as well. Are you taking the Bills?
Yep. Agreed. Yep, for sure.
The only thing I'm uncertain of is this over here at 46.
Yeah, this could be. The Bills do have some soft spots in their defense. Some games, you know what I mean. Like the stopping the run is just for the last couple of years has been something of a problem for them, especially now that Von Miller's out. For the last 7 weeks, they kind of went downhill run defense wise. But I don't think you're going to be able to stack the box, right?
Yeah, but you still have Tyreek Hill out there.
And Jalen Waddle, but who's getting the ball to him before they get murdered by the fucking edge rushers?
Is it Teddy Two Gloves? Is he going to start this week?
He was in the protocol before. I don't know if he's
Teddy's not questionable anymore. He seems to be the quarterback that's
he's in.
Okay.
Teddy Two Gloves is worth 17 points
for Buffalo as well. Tre'Davious is a beast when he's healthy.
Okay.
Corner.
Okay.
I like that dude.
All right. So the over-under is the only thing that you're going to go over 46. Yeah.
Always. I love it. They're so much more fun to bet.
I know. I took the fucking under last night because it was 70.
But when you bet the under, you're winning for a lot longer.
Yeah, well, it depends. In that Georgia game, I wasn't, friend.
Usually.
At halftime, I was like, I looked at because I had it at 70, and I was like, whoa, there is 52 on the board at halftime. This isn't good, kids.
I really wish they would have just kept playing their starters the whole time.
Oh,
like, fuck it. If you're going to do it, fucking do it, man. Fuck TCU. You know what I mean?
Teach them a lesson, right?
Yeah, it's like if
those fuckers a lesson.
If a little kid walks in here right now and starts talking shit, I'm going to whoop his ass. I don't give a shit how old he is or how small he is. He came in here talking shit. It's time for an ass whooping.
Did you hear Kirby Smart's speech before the game that went viral? Somebody leaked it?
The one after
No. Before this TCU game, he said
Hmm.
exactly what you said. He goes, we want to fuck their asses up.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard a guy use the word fuck in that short of a span in a long time.
Well, he's
a hell of a coach.
He's a beast.
Of all of the guys that have come from the Nick Saban coaching tree, he is the blueprint. He's the one guy that did he's better than Dabo. He's better. He's better than all these guys.
Hearing that speech made me want to run through a fucking wall. Kirby Smart is the man, dude.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. So do I. And I love this Buffalo game. 9.5, I think is great. It should be fun.
How is
Hamlin's
Teddy?
back in Buffalo. I know he's going to go to the hospital there, but if he shows up at this game,
Oh man,
they should at least put him on the fucking jumbotron or something.
and they
before the
might.
game.
Who knows? They might.
Have him sing the anthem.
can't
or some
even
shit.
imagine.
Well, the guy who did the anthem at the Jacksonville game last week should do the anthem for everything. He's bald up front, but huge party in the back. And then he played the just the guitar. He went Hendrix with.
I think Fergie. Because that's the worst one ever, right?
All
At
time.
the NBA Finals, what was it 2017?
Yeah, let her do the Super Bowl. Let her do the Super
What
Bowl.
about last night's anthem?
I know. Everybody's talking about
watch
that.
that?
Dude.
The Boys and Girls Choir or whatever the fuck it was.
There was 4 guys and the woman. Unbelievable.
Penetronics it was amazing.
Oh no, it was
amazing.
What was the one before? Was it God Bless America or something? What did those? What did that school choir, the college choir, sing before?
I forget.
I don't know.
I got blown away by that anthem. Everybody did on
unreal.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Yo, we should have them do every single national anthem." It was
I
great.
forgot to check my Twitter after that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Next up, we got the Giants against the Vikings. This spread is exactly where it should be. -3 for the Vikings, over under 48.5. Who you got here, Brad Guy?
I'm taking the Giants. I believe they beat the Vikings earlier in the season at Minnesota. I like Daniel Jones. People say what they want to. The kid finds a way to score points. Doesn't have a lot going on with him around him as well. So I like the Giants in this game.
You've got a soft spot for shitty quarterbacks. I've never seen anything like it.
What are you talking about? The kid runs great, and he actually throws it too.
Nobody's talking about Daniel Jones. No one. No one.
I don't have an argument with. I don't want to get in a fight with Chicago fans, so I'm not going to say anything. But Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I'm sorry. He has a great offensive line too.
Where was Chicago coming in? Were you about to say Fields?
No. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to fucking deal with it. But Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. The dude can run. He can throw. He has a shitty offensive line, which you love to point out for certain quarterbacks, but not for the. I guess if you don't think the guy's good, then their offensive line's
No.
good.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Like
okay.
the Giants' offensive line isn't bad. I mean, look, Barkley had a gajillion yards.
Bad. They're not good.
Barkley had a gajillion yards. So 1,300 yards. So obviously they're decent. They're decent enough.
Saquon Barkley as well. Anyway, their defense is good too.
And
so
the Vikings are also bottom 3rd in the league in run defense, right? So I think New York's going to come out and try to control that clock.
Yeah.
And if they succeed, they can win this game. But you're giving me 3 points. I'll take the Giants +3. I don't mind starting fights with fan bases. Kirk Cousins in prime time and pressure situations folds like fucking laundry every goddamn time. It's like 1 out of 8 times he does well in those situations. And I like the guy. Look, he's an anti-vax dude. Big fan of that.
Sure.
Right? But we're not betting on his fucking vaccination status here. We're betting on football.
Yes. Justin Jefferson's a badass.
Yeah, God damn, that dude is so good.
He's got all the pieces are there, man. It's so strange up there. I don't know what he had 1,800 yards for Christ's sakes. 1,800 yards Jefferson had, and they can't win a fucking. What was the game that he was down by 33 points? It was the Colts, yeah. And I had that. I had that game, so I was forced to watch that whole fucking thing, and he came through at the end.
That's Matt Ryan for you. Even I know he doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
But man, don't stand next to that guy during a storm or anything, because you're getting struck by lightning.
R.I.P.
He's got the worst luck of all time.
R.I.P. to Matt Ryan, by the way.
My God.
Ballard did a presser today, Chris Ballard, and he said they are going to draft a quarterback. So looks like that's the end of days there. With this, I'm going to take the Giants, but I'm going to tease it up to 10 here.
You love teasers.
I'm a teaser god, but I don't trust either of these teams. I don't like either of these teams. And whoever wins, this is going to be the last win they have of the playoffs anyways. So, like, there's better games to bet on. And whenever they're like the Bills, like I put all my money on the fucking Bills. We're good. And the Niners, great. But this fucking game, it'll be close. It'll be tight. And I don't know who's going to win, to be honest with you. And whenever it's like that, then I'll tease it up. I'll take Giants plus 10. And then if they win, great. Hey, I'm good to go.
A little mid pick break here. The Cardinals just leaked that they want to trade D-Hop.
Hopkins. Yes. Yep. So I heard that earlier, and I think they wanted to trade him to Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think Lamar had a meeting. This is all a rumor. Lamar Jackson allegedly had a meeting discussing about whether or not he's going to play on Sunday. Not only does he want the new contract, but he was pissed off that they gave Rogon Smith, former Chicago Bear, $100 million today. So he just signed
paid
today.
How many years?
5, yeah, $100 million.
Good for him.
That guy's $20 million.
First guy to go over 20.
Bear should have paid him.
Yes, they should have. Very good player, but I think I heard the meeting is he went into the office and was like, "Dude, are you guys ever going to get me a fucking wide receiver on this team, even if I do come back?" And the rumor is, yes, the Ravens want to go for D-Hop.
He had one.
Hollywood Brown was okay.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Like it's like you have what little you have, I'm going to take away from you, and you're not getting a contract, bitch.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Lamar Jackson, I don't ever wear a fucking Ravens uniform again. This is the most disrespect I've ever seen for a former MVP, a star player who drags your shitty team into the playoffs every year, right? Every year.
Yeah. Help yourself. With this game here, the really hard part about this, because I'm looking at it, this is Ravens versus Bengals that we're talking about. It's the primetime game Saturday nights. It is currently Cincinnati -7. Now, I really want to preface this by saying this line has been all over the fucking map for 2 days.
It's going to be all over the place until Sunday.
It was at 10.5 at one point. So now it's down to 7, which leads me to believe that Lamar Jackson is going to play in this game. And if he does, this was the same game that we watched on the same field last weekend.
Yeah.
Brian, as a player, have you ever had to play in a game against the same exact team in the same exact location in back-to-back weeks like this?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's weird, right? That the playoffs things worked out that way? No.
Very odd, because the Bengals were trying for home field, so they had to play the whole game, and they did. Yeah. And they won decently, but with Lamar Jackson back, this line is now moved down to 7. It was at 10.5. It's super weird. Who do you got in this one? Ravens versus Bengals, and the over-under is 42.
Lamar's playing.
He is playing.
Well, maybe. Presumably, based on the line, it seems like he is, yes.
Based on the line.
I'm taking the +7 and the over, by the way. The Bengals can score some points, I think, with Lamar in the game. Baltimore will score some points as well.
I love the over. Man, that's 7, dude. I love Burrow. I mean, look, the Bengals are on fire as well.
I think this is a bit of a hot take, I guess, but I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Bengals end up in the Super Bowl.
As a total package, like the leadership and the poise and shit he's a very impressive human being. He doesn't have some of the flashy talent that Mahomes does. You know what I mean?
Or any of the hardware or victories.
Sure, yeah. And he also didn't step into a very good situation with one of the best
he's only played 3 years. Exactly.
Relax.
I mean, look, the hardware he got was the greatest college football offense of all time.
Yeah.
So they won the national championship with LSU. To me, nobody's offense stacked up against that.
Yeah, I just think it's he and Mahomes, so far as I'm concerned, are 1A and 1B. They're that's the best that you can get at playing that position, I think.
And the Bengals aren't. I mean, You want to talk about a line trying to get shit together?
Yeah,
they're trying to get it together now, and he's still 12-4. Like, fuck.
That's all they. That's all they need, though. They're a fucking. They're a guard and a tackle away from being probably. We'll see how this playoff thing goes through, but they might be the best team in the NFL.
Maybe. And with that, I'm taking Cincinnati -7 here. Who you got?
I'm the same. Yeah, Bengals -7. I actually think this might be. There's something about that guy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. I'm in. I'm sucked in, dude. I'm in with Burrow.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know. Maybe he's a what do you call it? A siren, and I'm driving into some fucking icebergs right now. But
he could be a little snow princess. I don't know.
But I feel like, I mean, goddamn, you gotta. If you're a quarterback in the draft, you don't want to go to the AFC, do you?
No. Because you will only have a chance because they're all 25. That's the fucking problem. Herbert,
Chargers,
Burrow,
Bills,
Allen, Mahomes.
Mahomes is young.
Yes, they're all 25 years old.
Mahomes is 27, I think.
Go to the AFC. Yeah, go to the AFC.
Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, the NFC.
Lawrence is 24.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dudes, man.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, the NFC has no one. Go over there.
Zach Wilson's young, too. I mean, you got a lot of young.
Oh, my God, dude. There is no.
I'm sorry.
I would have lost all of the shit out of my body, dude, if you would have gone on a Zach Wilson rant today. I would have lost my mind.
Zach Wilson's going to fucking play a couple more years and then retire to Scottsdale where he can bang lonely housewives.
Yes, dude. There's a steakhouse out there where they go cougar hunting. Yeah. What's the name of it in Scottsdale?
Ocean 44, Ocean Prime, something like that.
Write that down,
Yeah. Write it down. Write it down. Delco and Giorgio will be with us here in a couple weeks.
Lamar hasn't played with this team in a while, and to be honest, I don't know what the Ravens front office can tell him to, because he's played his fucking ass off. I don't mean just the result and the ability and all that stuff, but putting his fucking shit on the line all year, this year even, without a contract, still played in good faith. And then what do? They fucking give somebody else a guaranteed $100 million contract. Like, fuck.
Wait, they guaranteed the $100 million?
No,
no,
70.
I think it's 70. Yeah,
yeah, 70 was the guarantee, but that's still great.
Goddamn money, man.
A lot of for Will linebacker or whatever position he plays. Crazy.
It's not Urlacher money, but goddamn, it's close. You know.
Oh, it's a little bit beyond what I made. Yeah, a little bit over that.
Is it really?
The contracts right now are stupid compared to when I played.
I've never looked up your contracts. I have no idea. I just figured because of
it wasn't. Well, at one point I was the highest paid guy, but then someone else was a free agent, and then they got hired. You know, it's always someone else gets more money every time there's a free agent. So I was well compensated, but it's never what's going to be with the new guys now.
Well, with inflation, you may be better.
I'm behind. I'm way fucking behind.
You actually owe the Bears some money right now.
That's exactly right.
Who are you taking this Bengals game?
I just told you. Taking the other team +7.
You're taking the Ravens. Quote the Ravens nevermore.
I like the over too, actually. I think 42 is low, seems like to me.
Yeah, I love the over in this game, so I'll be taking that as well.
You'll tease it.
I just wonder, look, Lamar Jackson's played in, yeah, exactly. You know me too well. I will tease this. I'll tease both.
Do you guys trust the Bengals defense?
Not really.
They have the 7th best run defense in the NFL.
They do, and so I think they're good enough. But with Burrow, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Who's going to throw? Like, we don't even know. Honestly, Lamar Jackson comes back. When's the last time you played?
5 weeks ago. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time, and it's going to be cold there.
Yeah. I mean, like, what in the history of this situation happening, like somebody coming back off a long injury like that, tells you that he's going to be good for this game. You know what I mean?
He's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I know. It's like Michael Vick when he came back to Philly. I was all in.
No.
Win the Super Bowl.
That's a whole season. So with his legs, though. Right.
I know. Yeah.
He if he's healthy, he can fucking get some stuff done. But is he going to be in sync with receivers and shit?
Does he have a Peloton? Because if he does, and he stayed in shape on his own,
then he's good to go. He's fine.
He's been doing jumping jacks.
They have these things called trainers that may have kept him in shape, Ross. I'm not sure.
No, I doubt it. A guy like that is using one of those Bowflexes probably, where it's just.
What was the one with the thighs? You remember that
the Thigh Master.
Thigh Master. Yeah.
Suzanne
incredible.
Or the Gazelle with that Tony, whatever the fuck his name is, with the ponytail.
Huge mullet. I love that thing. Yes.
Major mullet. You want to talk about fucking hard, that guy, dude.
Or, right, Total Gym.
Total Gym.
That's Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you grow a beard.
Sure do.
Immediately.
That's a freaking way to go right there. I'll get one of those.
Yeah, you
sure do.
Yeah.
Last but not least here, we got the Monday night game. This is Cowboys at the Buccaneers. Save the best for last on this show. And this is the most interesting game of the entire weekend because you have a fan base that has not won a Super Bowl in almost 30 years now. But they'll tell you they're going to win it every single year. And they're never, ever close. And the spread is real low because they looked real shitty last weekend. What's his name? Rain? Rain is actually Dak Prescott's name.
Is it?
Yep.
What's Dak short for?
I don't know what is it?
Dakota.
Dakota, that's right. Rain Dakota.
You have
Rain
parents?
Dakota Prescott.
Cool. It's a cool name.
Rayne.
Yeah.
Sweet name.
It's like a white girl's name.
No, that's
from,
that's a porn name.
Well, that too.
Makes it even better.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he was at.
Actually,
Dallas minus 2.5.
I like Dak Prescott.
down.
I like Dak as a human being. He's not like Russell Wilson, where everybody hates him and he's a fake. Man. He's a real dude.
Legit dude.
I really enjoy him, but they're gonna get fucking beat in this game. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be so today on his on the dumb radio show, The Fan in Dallas. The radio show is fine. I call it dumb because Jerry Jones always goes on and says stupid shit. And what he said today was that Mike McCarthy's job is not at stake in this game. Not true.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If they lose this game, especially in an embarrassing way, Mike McCarthy is gone.
I'm gonna back up
as
the
he
truck.
should be. Even if they win this game, they should get rid of that dude. It's just not the guy for
Is
that.
it him or is it Dak, though?
It's him.
Why is it always the coach's fault, man? The players, I mean, they got a big-ass payroll. They got all these great players. Why the fuck is it Mike McCarthy's fault that they can't win games?
His clock management is so horrific, though.
Like 6 different times in the last 2. There were 6 games, 4 that they won, 2 that they lost because of clock management on his part. And the other 4 games they got lucky and didn't lose. That's 3 losses per season.
The other knock on him in this last week, let's take last week's game. They were getting blown out. He leaves all of his starters in, including Dak, into the fourth quarter in a game that's now meaningless. They can see the scoreboard in the stadium. Somebody's telling him on the field. I'm sure. Did that happen when you were playing? Somebody told you on the field, "Hey, dude, it's close, and this other game's going on. You got to win to get in." All this other stuff.
Not that I can recall. I don't remember playing. I mean,
technology
if I was on the field, we played to win the game.
Yes, and so with this,
that didn't matter to me.
With this, like McCarthy leaving the starters in, like, dude, Dak could have gotten lit up, and then that was it in a meaningless game. I don't really get it. I agree with you on McCarthy on this one, but I've always said Dak Prescott would never win a Super Bowl, and I'm going to stand by that. And I think Brady is dating a nice 24-year-old gal that he met. He posted a picture on Instagram kissing his son on the back of the neck, who's 13 years old. And he had his legs inside of Tom Brady had his over his legs on the Instagram post. That means a lot to me as a father, especially to a 13-year-old boy. What, Brian? That's what you do to 13-year-old boys, is it not? You don't kiss them?
Luckily, my son's 17, so I don't have to worry about it.
Well, it's 17. Is that too old to stop? This is for Brady, not for me.
We give the daps and hugs and we tell each other we love her. That's plenty enough.
Yeah, you don't need to kiss your adult children on the mouth.
This is a kiss on the back of the neck. Well, father's got to be good to your daughters, and John Mayer said that, and he said it well. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to ride with you guys, and I hate doing this because I love the Cowboys, but I think Tampa Bay beats their ass. I can't believe how bad the Cowboys look, and they played their starters. I wasn't watching him. I asked my wife, I said, "Is Dak playing today? Are they playing the stars?" And she was like, "Yeah." I just could not believe how they just looked like shit. Dak was like 10 for 30 something. Anyway, Tampa Bay is going to smash them. I agree with you.
And Brady's looked pretty good lately.
Really good.
Like turned it on.
Yeah, recently.
Mike Evans is fucking catching everything thrown in his direction. I mean,
and that Dallas defense is shit right now.
And I've got a weird stat for you here, real quick.
Van Der Esch might be out. Right, that's a problem for him because he held like the run game, especially.
He's good.
Yeah,
He's a football player.
Yeah, we'll see. What's the stat?
Brady has 4,694 yards passing on the season and 25 touchdowns. Herbert has 4,739 yards, 25 touchdowns. If you had told me Tom Brady at 45 years old is putting up the same numbers as Justin Herbert, I would have said not one fucking prayer.
But Justin Herbert has all of his receivers out. Remember you said
that's true. That's true.
Keenan Allen was hurt. Mike Williams was hurt. Come on, man.
And same with Brady, though. I mean, look, Godwin was out for a little bit.
And Julio Jones.
Julio Jones has barely played all year.
But he's back.
Good. Yeah,
they have a
is he back?
They have a full. He's questionable, but my understanding is he's going to play. They have a full complement.
Because he's had such a great season.
Well,
he is not.
It's been
I'm a Falcons fan.
It's been 3 years.
What happened to him, dude? I'm a Falcons fan. He
Syndrome.
doesn't even look like the same guy anymore.
You just get. I mean, your body can't hold up for all these years. It just happens to everybody. If you're not a quarterback or a kicker.
Yeah, you got to hold your sons close like that.
Unfortunately,
Tom Brady. What, dude? You gotta.
Wrong with you, Ross?
Yeah, you got to do it, dude. You got to hold.
Yeah,
you got to hold him close. Give him a little kiss. Give Julio a little kiss. Let's see if he gets in the game and makes a difference here.
Do we know if Jensen's back for Tampa Bay this week?
Oh yeah,
they pulled him off the IR, but I don't know if I don't know if they did that to make him eligible for future playoff games or if he's actually ready this week.
Brian Jensen
this would be a great tease, by the way, Ross. Huge tease. Tease them to 9.5. Are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm all over that.
Loss.
Do you know how many? Agree.
Do you know how many times I've heard you say you could never lose that?
The teasers look so good.
You know what?
How did I ever lose this?
You know what I'm going to do? If I win the lottery, I'm going to build an extra wing on your house that's just a big rage room. Are you familiar with these things?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like a room full of stuff that you can break every time. You're like, honey, I'll be right back. I'm going into the fucking rage room.
Yeah, and you just break some shit.
Just fucking break plates. Just break plates. Fucking whatever.
I love it. I'll definitely be teasing this game all the way around, and I'm going to drop this over-under down to 38.5 as well. And that I usually do that on Monday night games. It's weird to say that it's a playoff game this time, but it is.
I have a good stat for here. So home dogs on Monday night usually cover or win. I don't know what my brother told me this a few years ago. They either cover or win something like 80% of the time or something. Home dogs on Monday night.
Look, all home dogs go to heaven. I'm here.
Tampa.
Yep, Tampa's here, and they're a home dog. Tickets are expensive for this one, man. People are coming out. It's going to be 69 degrees at kickoff down in Tampa too.
Beautiful.
So the weather will be weather will be great.
I'll be in Florida for that game.
Where are you going?
No. I'm going fishing.
But do you watch any NFL at all? Like, do you go to the Super Bowl? Do you go to any?
I watch if they're on TV. Like, we don't have like all the direct bullshit that you have to get every game because I really don't care enough about the NFL to do that. But I do whatever game we get here, which is usually not great ones, but usually it's Dallas, which is nice. I'll watch them, but I'm not gonna like sit at home and be like, oh, so and so plays at 3. I got to be home by then, and I got to be done with my tea time. Oh man, we got a Monday night game. I have to order pizza and stay home. It's not like that. No. But I will watch.
What's the last game you've been to as a fan, and not that you hadn't played in?
I believe we went to the Bears playoff game versus Philly, the double doink game.
Oh, you were at the double doink game, Collinsworth.
Yeah,
his career call.
We sat in the McCaskey's box, and luckily I left right before that kick happened because I thought he was going to make it. So we were trying to beat the crowd out, and it wasn't pretty.
No way, dude. The double doink game. I mean, look, when Collinsworth dies, they're going to put a field goal post in the grave with him for that. So that's at his request, not anybody else's.
He actually got double doink tattooed on the small of his back.
Oh, like a tramp stamp?
His tramp stamp, double doink, field goal.
I'll find out. You know, is he calling the Super Bowl?
Yeah, if we see him, we'll tear his clothes off and find out.
Who is calling the Super Bowl? It's not CBS, is it?
Not sure who it is this year, but if it's Collinsworth, I'll rip his shirt off and get that answer for you. Yeah, I don't because
maybe it'll be Aikman. Could it be Aikman?
Oh well,
he's
on Monday night, so ABC would have to own the rights to the Super Bowl this year. What network is it on?
Can they just call every big game?
I know.
Can we get Aikman and Buck to call every big game?
Oh, you love Aikman and Buck naked?
Not naked, but I like them calling every game. I can listen to Troy Aikman pretty much all day. Joe Buck does a good job. They're awesome, and maybe sprinkle in some Jim Nantz with nobody else. Just
it's on.
That would be incredible.
I was just gonna say
it's on Fox.
Oh, it's on Fox. So he doesn't have the call.
Yeah.
Shit.
Greg Olsen and their number one crew is Greg Olsen and Burkhardt.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine it's going to be them for
no,
the Super
dude.
Bowl,
Give
right?
me Gus Johnson over Fox. So. Give me Gus Johnson.
Joel Klatt. Joel Klatt for college. Joel Klatt's great in college football.
Yeah, he's great. But do you do the college team for the Super Bowl? That would be unusual.
Well, you said Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson does college?
No, that's what I'm saying. But if you're just going off of your best talent on Fox, I would love, me personally, Gus Johnson because I think he's the best at.
With who? Just Gus?
No, Gus is. Look, dream team wise, give me Gus and Jim Nantz. The two of those guys.
Jim Nantz is the greatest of all time.
The best. He called that kickoff last week for the Bills.
I didn't watch it, but that's great. He's the best.
He was like, is this a storybook? I mean, it was incredible. Tears, the whole thing. Jim Nance is on my bucket list.
He is the greatest.
Yeah, he is the greatest. You're the greatest. And we'll see you here in a couple weeks in Arizona, but you're not going to the game.
Yes.
And then are you going to turn us down for the Waste Management tickets?
I told you to text me. We could talk about it.
I will.
It's very enticing what you're offering, but we'll have to see.
It sure is.
You know what? I found this is from May of last year. Apparently, Fox decided it's going to be.
You're really good at research.
Yeah, he's good. He's a smart guy.
You usually have a guy in the back. You're like, hey, do this, and then they send it out to you. But you do it all by yourself.
I do.
It's usually Bob, but his wife's about to have a baby here any second, so he's checked the fuck out.
He's
congratulations.
Don't congratulate him.
Fucking high.
It wasn't on purpose.
It's gonna be Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen.
Oh God,
that's what it says. It says Burkhardt is set to take over Bucs position, while Greg Olsen will reportedly act as the analyst.
Why do you hate Greg Olsen?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It says here that Greg Olsen's forehead has already started calling the game because it's already in the future. I just don't like the looks of him, man. There's something weird. Something got shrunk up in the helmet.
He's a bit of he's got a Cro-Mag look to him a little bit.
I like Greg Olsen. Greg's a good dude. Greg was a good teammate.
Yeah, he's a fucking.
Greg.
I'm not saying that he's not.
It's hard for me. It's so as a former player, it's hard for me to hear guys' voices who I played with calling games. It's just different for me. It's a little different. But Greg's a good dude. He's a really good. He was a great football player.
And I'm sure he's probably a good hang. But he looks like he's the
seventh floor posse.
Yeah, he was at the U.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep, he sure was.
G-Reg in his third leg.
He looks like ape number 4 on the evolution.
Did you say G-Reg in his third leg? Is that something people?
That was in part of the rap song that they made.
Third leg Greg.
Is it third leg? Is it the seventh floor posse or the third floor posse? Whatever it was.
Does he got a hog?
Does he have a hammer on him? Now I'll respect him.
I have no idea. It's just part of the song that media kept playing over and over.
You were in a locker room with this guy for 4 years, and you tell me you didn't see his dick?
No, I'm not really a pecker checker. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not a pecker checker.
I don't believe that.
I mind my own business.
I check him everywhere, dude. If you're standing next to me at the restroom, I'm checking yours out.
You're telling me a guy had a fucking nickname about his cock.
No, it was a song that they made up.
Yeah, but that's
not out of thin air, friends.
So minstrels are roaming the land, singing a ballad about this man's penis.
Yeah,
you don't want
to see the penis.
This the guy supposed to be doing. Who's the guy yelling?
Yes, that's Bob, dude. He woke up.
Talking now. You're doing all this stuff. He's back there yapping for no reason.
Now you've got to fight both of our fucking. You have to fight both of our producers now at the fucking. You've got to come to the Waste Management because you still have a fight with Delco.
Yeah, with Delco.
Fight one of them for sure. Yeah, he was talking shit that one. I'm ready.
Overlive, dude.
I'm
fighting over Live God.
Started lifting again, by the way, too.
Did you?
I'm ready. I'm a month in. Let's go.
Do you want some inspiration? I'll send you daily pics. But yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
I just want to go on record. I don't believe you didn't meet Gaze Greg Olsen. I'm just going to say it.
Yes.
I don't believe it. Sorry.
You never saw his dick once. That's impossible.
Like how?
I just told you, I'm not a pecker checker.
Well, we're going to find out. We'll rip his clothes off too.
Sure will. Sure will, dude. If I see Greg, that's the first thing I'm doing, dude.
See that hog, bro. See that hog.
Right hand shake, left hand cock grab.
You, bro.
He's a large man.
I'm bigger in person than you think, dude.
You're not 6'5", 260 of muscle.
Is that what he is?
Yes.
Is he 6'5"?
He's a large man.
He's a big motherfucker.
I'm 6'3". Let's do
it. Great
Let's
blocker, great receiver, everything.
Are you saying that because of his ape-like qualities? Yes or no? I'm kidding. Is he going to tear my face clean off my body like an orangutan?
I hope he does.
He's going to rip your arms off.
If you meet him, I'll go to the game with you if you guys get to meet, so he can whoop your ass. Greg's too nice for that. He's way too nice for that, though. Actually, Greg's a gentle giant.
All right. Well, look, I've got the dick broom on my face. Interested in seeing that hog from him. Who knows? Maybe all our dreams will come true in a few weeks. We appreciate you being here, Bri Guy. You got a tea time today?
I got a lesson this morning. I'm playing tomorrow.
All right. What are you shooting these days?
I shot 76 yesterday. Didn't play that good, but I'm around mid 70s, low 70s. Every once in a while I'll throw a 69 in there, 70 in there. I'll also throw an 85 in there too. So I'm a roller coaster.
Where are you going to be by Tahoe when you go to the American Century, Tahoe this year?
Where am I going to be able to? Oh, well, It doesn't really matter because that tournament's different, man. Fuck, I just I can't break. The last couple of years I've shoot like 79, 80. Doesn't matter what I'm doing going up to it.
Well, Stableford, right?
Yes, but you still have to add your score up.
Mm-hmm. You're shooting a Biden number, huh? 79-80?
Fuck. No, he shoots. If you ask him, he probably shoots 43 for 18 holes.
Wow, he shits.
Back in when I was in 13th grade, I had a 1600 par round. Ask him; he'll tell you all about it. Fucker. The guy is a liar. Everything he comes out of his mouth is a lie.
I know. They found documents in his house. I know.
Nothing's gonna happen. Who cares? Nothing's gonna happen to the guy. It doesn't matter.
Raid the place.
It doesn't matter. No, they won't raid his house. He's not Trump. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You guys want to go down this path right now with me?
You know I love Trump, dude. I love Papa Trump, dude. I'll go with you all day.
We just did a January 6th celebration episode.
We sure did. Dan was the
2
shaman.
years, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was one of the darkest days in our country's history.
I mean, it's like
it was worse than the Civil War.
It's like
yes, it was.
9/11, Pearl Harbor, and then way up here is January 6th.
January 6th is way the fuck
way
above
up there,
both of those things. Yeah. Those are not even close to January 6th.
And then 9/11, I think they said 9/11 as well.
That was Kamala Harris who said that. She said 9/11 and Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, she did.
Like, damn, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, yeah. No, that was real. That's a real statement. Yeah.
So I can't listen to her talk or Beijing Biden. I can't listen to her. I can't. I just want to blow my brains out when they start talking or cackling or lying, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, just spray the back wall. Go Jackson Pollock on it before hearing that.
Yeah.
Man, good talk, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. I'm going to blast you with a dick pic later. And then
good luck on all your teasers, bro. I'll pull them for you.
Do you want me to send you them? Do you want my teasers on it?
No, please don't.
I only missed one last week, and it was fucking Philadelphia on the backdoor cover, dude, on that bullshit.
I get backdoored every weekend, so don't even talk to me about it.
I know you do.
Every weekend.
Do you not look at it before it goes in? I mean, I want to look.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know it's going to happen.
I'll send you all my teasers and my dick pics. We love you, Bri Guy. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the NFL Wild Card.